since last weekend, I decided to give myself an entire week without vlogging so I can get my mind straight and actually think about what I want to talk to you guys about, because this video is going to be my show recap, what I thought about the show, my plans moving forward, and all of that. So I didn't want to film when I was so fresh out of the show, because my emotions were like all over the place. But I had a week to think about what I really wanted to do and to think about what this show meant to me and what I thought about it. So I'm going to film that today, and I'm also going to be filming a full day of eating. Today is Friday, and today's Saturday, and it is the second day that I am back on track. I basically took a week off from my diet, and I will talk more about that later, and I will share what I ate and how many calories I ate and all of that later. But right now I'm going to get ready, head over to the gym and do some cardio. I was going to lift, but it's already pretty late. It's 9:02, so I'm just going to go and do some cardio, take it as an active rest day, and then just get back into my lifting schedule tomorrow. I started my day like I always do with a shot of apple cider vinegar and some water. I've been trying to drink a lot of water because I feel really bloated, but the apple cider vinegar has really helped bloating and just digestion, and it makes me feel better, especially after all the junk that I've been eating. And then water, I'm just trying to flush all the extra sodium out of my system. I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to drink for my pre-cardio. If you are a long-time follower or subscriber, then you know that I love Amino Energy. This is the iced mocha flavor, and it's basically amino acids with caffeine added to them. It does have calories. I usually don't track this, but right now, since I am, right out of the show, I am tracking it. I do use a lot. I use about 6 scoops. 6 scoops is like the max dosage, but my body is so used to caffeine. So I'm gonna do this, and then I'm also going to I have it in the freezer because I like everything cold. I have a cup of cashew milk and some water in here, and I'm just gonna let it get cold and then add my Amino Energy, and that's gonna be my pre-cardio. I guess I'll talk a little bit since that's getting cold. So let's see, just so I don't make this video super long and boring, I might split each topic into throughout the day, so you guys don't just sit there and watch me talk for like 20 minutes. But right now, I guess I should talk about weight gain post-show and expectations post-show. So like I said, on show day I was 120.8 pounds, but the 14, I think it was like 10 or 14 days prior to the show, I was on my peak week, meaning that I was depleting. I was eating very, very low carb. I was miserable. I was foggy. I couldn't do anything without feeling like I was going to faint. Like, I was really, really tired. My workouts were horrible. I had no energy. I had to push and dig in deep in order to get everything done that I needed to get done. And that is no way of living. So 120.8 pounds or 120.6 pounds is not maintainable. And I knew that, and I know that going in. After the show, I did decide to give myself a week to kind of just relax and not necessarily eat everything that I wanted and binge, but to just not track and just eat what I wanted, healthy or not, throughout the day in moderation. So on Saturday, the day of the show, we went to the Cheesecake Factory, and I completely ate everything I wanted. I was stuffed. I had the bread with butter. I had half the nachos. I had a burger. I didn't touch the fries because they were gross. And then I did have a cheesecake when I got home. Me and Dave split the cheesecake. And then the following day, I woke up, and that's when I filmed. I was going to lift, but I ended up just doing some cardio, and then coming back home, we went out for lunch and we got Mexican food. I had nachos again, and I had enchiladas with the rice and beans, and then we went to go get ice cream, and I got a big tub of ice cream. After that, we went to Dave's grandparents' house or aunt's house. They had a Father's Day brunch going on, so I had a muffin there, and then that's all I ate that day. It was a lot of calories, but it was only 3 meals, or 2 meals or whatever. And then Monday I got back on track. I ate normal. I had about 2,200 calories or 2,200 calories. I didn't track throughout the day, but a few days later I decided to put everything in and see what my calories were at. So on Monday I ate 2,300 to 2,400, and then on Tuesday I ate normal, and then we went out to Panera Bread and I got a big salad and the bread. And that day I ended up hitting like 3,600 calories. And then on Wednesday I went back to my normal eating. I hit about 1,800. Again, I wasn't tracking throughout the day. I was just eating what I wanted, and then at the end of the day I would put everything in to see where I was at. And then on Thursday we went out to get Mexican food again, so my calories were through the roof. And then yesterday was my first day back on track, so I basically gave myself 7 days or 6 days to just kind of enjoy myself. And I do feel heavier. I am bloated. I am holding a lot of water in my stomach, but I don't feel terrible. I'm glad I gave myself that time, and now I have to get back on track because I do have a photo shoot and a California trip in 2 weeks. So it's important that when you come off of a show prep or any event, if you're cutting, that you understand that you are trying to lose weight or trying to lose body fat for that specific event. And if you feel miserable, hungry, unhappy, if you can't go to social outings, then that weight you're not going to be able to maintain, because that is not a way of living. You have to make sure that you are happy and you are enjoying your diet in order to be able to maintain the weight loss. I personally did not dig deep into the last 10 to 14 days of prep. My calories were anywhere between 1,900 to 2,000 calories for my entire prep. I didn't have to cut down too far. I did go down to 1,700 for peak week, but I was eating very plain. But I personally think that I could maintain a diet of 19 to 2,000 calories right now, just to kind of maintain my weight, and then I will adjust if I need to. I am doing flexible dieting, so I am eating whatever I want as long as it hits my numbers. I am still giving myself 2 refeed days, and the refeed days are going to be back up to 2,500 calories. So I'm basically doing what I was doing before peak week, and that is my calories were an average of 19 to 2,000 calories. I was cycling my low days and my refeed days, so most of my days were anywhere between 1,600 to 1,700, and then my refeed days were 2,500 calories. And that's a maintainable way of eating for me right now. I'm obviously not going to be eating like this forever because I am not going to be cutting forever, but right now my goal is to maintain 122 to 125. So if I do decide to compete in October, I can get from 125 to 118, 115, because I do feel like I need to be leaner for the NPC stage. But I will talk more about my goals and my physique and what I thought about my physique on stage later on in this video. But right now, that's all I wanted to talk about. The weight gain. It's okay to gain weight. It's okay to gain a couple of pounds after you end a cutting phase. You have to realize that your happiness is more important. So if you are miserable, then there's no point of being that lean or shredded or whatever. So I just hope that this helps somebody out there, because I mean, I struggle too. Like, there's days where I'm like, oh, I wish I was as small as I was last week. You know, we're human, we all struggle with it. But at the end of the day, it's important to forget the negatives and look at the positives. So instead of saying, oh my God, I let myself go, I feel so fat, I feel so bloated and gross, instead of saying that, you should be like, okay, well, I just spent a week enjoying food with my husband. I haven't been able to go out in a while, and I enjoyed every single bite, and I had enough, and enough is enough, and now I'm going to get back on track. So that is the way I look at it. And again, I have my bad moments, so everyone's human. But okay, I'm going to get my drink ready, and then I'll see you guys later. All right, I'm back from the gym. I only did like 26 minutes of very, very light cardio. So I'm making my first meal. I'm going to have a serving of the pancake mix, and then I also have half a serving of frozen blueberries. I'm just going to microwave these with some sugar-free syrup and then use it as like a topping. Here's my pancake. I added some blueberries on top, and I'm going to top it with sugar-free syrup. And I'm also going to be having my CLA, my fish oil, and my probiotic. So I'm trying to get ready, and Before I forget, I also wanted to add something to the weight gain topic, and that is for any competitors out there who are trying to maintain their weight that they were right before the show. You guys have to understand that the last week or so, as competitors, we deplete. We deplete the glycogen in our muscle. Some of us, I don't, but some of us cut their water. So the weight that you guys are, seeing on that scale a few days before the show or show day is not maintainable. You cannot walk around being depleted every single day. So my recommendation is to take the number you were before peak week and try to maintain 5 to 10 pounds from that. That is my honest opinion. For example, right before peak week, I was like 122 to 123. So I think 122 to 125 is very realistic for me to maintain because of the amount of food I was eating. As far as training, I don't mind training the amount that I was, training right before the show, because I enjoy working out, especially if I have energy from food. So that is just something I wanted to say, that no, you cannot maintain the number that you were during the last week of your prep. It's just not realistic. And I think preparing yourself mentally before your show is very smart, because I basically prepared myself. Like, I was like, no, there's no way that I'm going to, I don't know if you guys can see me. There's no way I'm going to be able to maintain 120 pounds. So I am going to be okay with being about 5 pounds heavier than that. I mean, I obviously don't want to go overboard, and I don't want to put on too much body fat, especially because I want to compete later this year. Well, I'm thinking about it. So just making it easy for me for later on. Come on. But I know a lot of competitors freak out, and I mean, I do too, freak out when they see a higher number on the scale from their peak week weight. But again, you guys were depleted. We deplete ourselves. We cannot walk around depleted all the time. And I will always say this, the people around you who love you, your husband, your wife, your daughter, your son, your cousins, anybody around you who truly loves you does not care if you gain a couple of pounds. I know as competitors and as being humans, we care a lot about what other people think. So I know how hard it can be, but to be honest, nobody cares. You're the only one who is putting stress on your body and on your mind because you're overthinking everything. So again, I'm human and I have gone through this multiple times. So I mentally prepared myself this time around. So I know that in order for me to be truly happy, I have to focus on my mindset. I have to focus on staying positive. The day of the show, I woke up very early. I woke up about 4:45. I got my makeup done at about 6 in the morning, and I got to the venue at around 8 in the morning. And I did not leave the venue till 11:30 that night, so it was a very long day. As far as backstage, we were very cramped. It was very hot. We were on the floor, but overall, I had a really good experience because of the girls. The girls were amazing backstage. Everybody was so friendly. We were all sharing our food and sharing our hair stuff, and there was one girl who's a makeup artist and she was helping us with our makeup. So overall, I had a really good experience backstage because of the girls. As far as tanning, the people who tanned us were very professional and they were able to fix any problems that we had. So that was a very good experience with them. As far as the show was very long and it was very, very big. It was one of the biggest shows in the East Coast, so there was a lot of competitors, and that's why we were there for so long. Bikini, or at least my class, didn't step on stage until 3:30 to 4 p.m. So it was a very, very long day. Overall though, the show ran pretty smooth. Everybody who was working the show was pretty nice, and I had a really good experience. Now the day of the show, I was very upset because I didn't place as good as I thought. So I did leave the venue kind of mad and a little bit confused. You know, I just thought I should have placed higher, but I feel like everybody thinks that. I did not get my feedback from the judges because as soon as I stepped off stage, I just wanted to go and I wanted to get food and I wanted to see Dave and just come home to Cider, because Cider was home alone all day and we've never left him for that long. So now that I had a week to think about it, I feel a lot different than I did that night. That night I felt very lost, very confused, very angry. I didn't want to compete with the NPC anymore. And now I feel very blessed to have stepped on stage with amazing athletes. Everybody was on point. All the girls were beautiful. Their suits, their makeup, their hair, their bodies, everything was on point. So the competition was a lot more fierce than I'm used to. And I'm glad that I was able to share the stage with them. And not only did they have amazing bodies and they were just beautiful, they were also very nice and very friendly. So now that I've had a week to think about, I'm happy that I did the show. I'm happy that I decided to step on stage with these athletes that are freaking out of the world amazing. Like, their bodies were just insane. I am still a little bit upset about my placing. I'm not going to lie. I thought that I should have placed a lot higher. I think my posing was on point. My overall package I thought was really good. I probably could have come in a lot leaner. I think that is one of the reasons why I might have not placed higher, and it's because I was not as lean as these girls. I probably could have lost another 5 to 10 pounds. But that is the goal for next show if I do compete. My plans are to, you know, kind of enjoy myself for the next couple of weeks, but not go overboard. Like I said, I want to maintain like around 125 pounds. And then August 1st, I will decide if I want to compete. There is a couple of shows in October. There's some in Boston, in New York, and in Connecticut, so I want to pick one. The only thing that would keep me from competing is if I just can't afford it. I know that we have a trip planned to Columbus, Ohio, because Dave is competing at the Arnold, so I don't know if I'll be able to afford another show, but if I can, I will definitely be picking one in October because I do not want to diet through the holidays. So in 2 weeks, I have a photo shoot, and that is why I'm going back into like a cutting phase. I just want to get my digestion back on track. I want to lose all this water weight. I want to feel good. And then once I get to California, which will be July 10th, I'm going to kind of enjoy myself and start eating more intuitively, but be smart and have moderation. And then when I get back from California, I have about 3 weeks or so before I decide if I want to compete or not. And we have weddings to go to, we have some parties to go to, so I'm going to enjoy myself during that time, again in moderation. I'm going to keep the weeks, like I'm going to be on track during the week, and then those events I'm going to enjoy myself. My training is pretty much the same. I will share more about my training split and what I'm going to be doing for the next couple of weeks in my next video, just because this one's going to be probably really long. But I am going to focus on my weak points. Now that I saw stage photos, I know what I need to work on. So that is my plan, and that is basically my little recap of the show. I'm really happy that I did not film this the day after the show, because then I would have probably regretted some of the things that I would have said. So again, I had a really good experience. It was a really good show. It was a big show, and I'm glad that I stepped on stage. I'm glad that I met all those ladies, and now I am motivated to work better, to bring a better package next time. I do my own diet, my own training, my own posing, so I have to make sure to tweak a couple of things, because I know that my peak week was good, but I peaked too early. I looked really good on Friday, and then by Saturday I looked flat, and my arms weren't as defined. My stomach was a little bit softer. So I know that I need to work on my peak week. And again, I do this all on my own, so it's all trial and error. And I'm proud that I have the guts to do this on my own, because not a lot of people do. A lot of people get scared, and I mean, I get scared because I'm like, well, what if I mess things up? But I'm proud with the package that I brought to the stage. I'm gonna go because I have a client in like 5 minutes. So I will see you guys later when I eat again. I'm going to be making my next snack or meal, I'm going to probably have a bowl of oatmeal with some egg whites and some cookie butter from Trader Joe's. So I just use, oh, sorry, hold on, Cider wants to come in. Come on in, baby. Come on in. Hi, honey. Hello, honey. All right, so I just use regular quick oats. I'm going to use about 40 grams, and I'm going to be adding some egg whites to add volume. So what I do is I cook the oatmeal with water for 2 minutes, and then I take it out, and then I add the egg whites, I stir, I put it back in the microwave for another 40 seconds, take it out, stir, and then back in the microwave for another 20 to 30 seconds. And then I add stevia, a little bit of protein powder, and either peanut butter or cookie butter. So I'm going to make it, and then I will show you guys when it's done. This is the texture that you want. You want it to be very thick and voluminous. This is only 40 grams of oatmeal. I added about 67 grams of egg whites. I'm going to be adding some protein powder just to kind of flavor it. I'm using the Pea Science Snickerdoodle. I'm going to add about 5 grams. And the best thing is adding some cookie butter or peanut butter on top. If you have self-control, I highly recommend getting this. I personally am not like a peanut butter or nut butter type of person, so having a jar of this amazing cookie butter is okay with me, but I know a lot of people can't control their portions. So I usually only use like 10 to 15 grams, so about a serving or less than a serving on my oatmeal, and I let it melt on top, and it's delicious. So that's what I'm going to use. It's melting right now. It's so, look at it. Let me see if I can show you guys. Do you see that? Look, so I let it melt and I just spread it on the top. Before I eat my oatmeal, I wanted to talk a little bit about being okay with adding things back into your diet that you're not used to while you're on prep. So I followed flexible dieting. I ate cookie butter, I ate anything I really wanted as long as I hit my calorie goal or my macros at the end of the day. But the past, I would say 14 days, or the last 14 days of prep, I kept it very simple, very plain, and I tracked everything, including my sodium, so all the condiments, I tracked everything. And post-show, it's important to, you know, be more flexible and be okay with it and not feel guilty. So for example, for me, adding cookie butter instead of natural peanut butter is one thing. Not measuring out my sugar-free syrup or my mustard or my salsa or any of those things is another one for me. Just being flexible and being okay with being a little bit more lenient or flexible with your diet. So not being super strict. It's very important to allow yourself to eat things like this. I spent the past week eating whatever I wanted in the portion sizes that I wanted. So now that I'm getting back on track, I am being more flexible. I know a lot of people try to go back to their prep diet, but that, to me, that's just not a good idea, because it can cause some very bad cycles with restriction and then overeating. So I personally prefer to be flexible and be okay with adding other things into my diet that I was not eating right before the show. So I'm gonna eat this and then I'll talk to you guys later. I bought these potatoes for the first time this week and I am obsessed. They are from Trader Joe's, roasted potatoes with peppers and onions, and the macros for 1 serving, which is that amount right there, 3 ounces, 6 grams of fat, 14 grams of carbs, and 1 gram of protein. So they are very low carb. They are high fat because they do have oil in them. Like I can feel it in my fingers and I can see it when I cook it. But I'm going to have a serving of that with whatever egg whites I have left over. This is the last one, so I don't know how much there's in here, but that's what I'm gonna have. So here's my egg white scramble with the potatoes and the peppers and the onions. It smells so good. Can you tell that I'm craving breakfast food? Every single meal has been breakfast food. But anyways, I added some of this reduced sugar ketchup on top. I'm going to enjoy this and I'll check in with you guys later. My next little snack, I have a serving of cottage cheese with salsa and pepper, and I'm also having a slice of sprouted bread from Trader Joe's. So it's a very quick little snack. It's the first time I'm adding dairy back into my diet, so I'm hoping that my stomach can handle it. We've tried Blue Apron before, but this is a different one. It's called Home Chef. And these are the meals. Chicken risotto. Some, beef burger. Sirloin steak. And garlic, this one. Beef burger. And here is a little dessert. I have some cottage cheese with stevia, frozen blueberries, and cinnamon. I know this video is already super long, so if you are still watching, thank you. I hope that you are taking something out of this video and me talking is helping you in some sort of way. I know that when I'm struggling and I see somebody else struggling with the same thing, it makes me feel a little bit better because I don't feel alone. And I am struggling. I might not be struggling as bad as I have in the past, but I am struggling. Every single time I finish a cut, especially if it's a big event, I get very depressed and I struggle here and there. So I wanted to just open up and share with you guys what I'm currently struggling with post-show, and hopefully it helps somebody out there. I know that a lot of people are coming off of competition prep right now, and I know that it can be very, very hard. I already talked about weight gain, so I'm going to talk about training. After a competition, you eat so much food and you think in your head, well, I'm eating all this food, I'm going to have so much energy and I'm going to be so strong when I get back to the gym. Well, the reality is that that is not how it works. Usually after a competition, you feel very, very tired, very, very sore, very swollen, especially if you messed with your sodium and water intake. You will feel very bloated. And you go into the gym thinking again that you're going to have all this energy and you're going to be super strong because you're eating all this food, but in reality you feel sluggish and you feel weak, and that makes you feel bad about yourself. I struggled with that this week. At the beginning of the week, I went into the gym and I just felt so bloated. The tan looked horrible because it was blotchy and it just looked disgusting. It made me feel dirty and I just didn't feel comfortable in the gym, and I felt weak. After a competition, everybody around you usually knows that you just competed, and you go into the gym and they see you like either covered up, because I was wearing like sweatpants and a sweatshirt and a long sleeve because I didn't feel comfortable. And I feel like they look at you and they're judging you and saying, oh, well, this person just competed and she let herself go, or he let himself go. And I know that is not true. Like, I know everybody at the gym doesn't really give a crap about if I'm coming in with a sweatshirt or a tank top, but in my head that messes with me. Another thing that I have struggled with in the past, and I know a lot of competitors struggle with, is feeling lost. I know after my first show, I felt really lost and confused, and I kept asking myself, well, what now? And a lot of competitors will set a goal to compete again, but that's not always the smartest thing to do, especially if you struggled really bad post-show. I know, again, after my first competition, I rebounded really bad and I set a goal of competing again. And I tried to get back into the swing of things, and that just caused more issues. It was like a cycle. I restricted and then overate, and then it was just very, very bad, very unhealthy, and I felt horrible. Think about the future. Think about being better, setting goals, setting small goals. For me, I like to set performance goals after a competition. So usually a lot of people will try to get stronger in the gym, and I do too. I mean, I want to get back to where I was. I want to be able to lift the same amount of weight. But for me, my main goal after this competition is to get back into running. So basically set performance goals that are realistic, because once you accomplish them, that will make you feel a lot better. So that is my tip. If you are post-competition or post any event and you are trying to get back into working out, set small goals, set realistic goals, and once you reach them, you will feel a lot better, and your confidence will, go from here to here, and then you will just feel better in the gym. So that's my tip for that. I talked about weight gain, training, feeling lost or unmotivated. That can go hand in hand. And now I want to talk about what I've been struggling with this time around. If you guys have followed me for a while, and if you followed my my YouTube channel since I started last October, you guys would see that I don't have an issue going out.
and enjoying food. I do not have an issue with food. And I don't have an issue with feeling guilty about eating certain foods. But this time around, I kind of felt like I was kind of overdoing it. Being honest, I was kind of feeling guilty about it. And I talked to a friend about it, and she basically told me and she told me what I would tell anybody. She basically said, you love food. Food makes you happy. You are not binging. You are not going out and just eating until you just can't anymore. You are enjoying a dinner out, a lunch out. You are enjoying yourself. You have been working really hard, and having a couple meals here and there is not going to kill you. And I 100% agree. And like I told you guys, I try to focus on the positives and not the negatives. So after I talked to her, I realized that yes, you know what? I did choose to eat all these foods, and I enjoyed them. I did not binge. I did not stuff myself until I was like super sick. And I enjoyed the time that I spent with my husband when we were out, because I have been on prep for a while and we stopped going out to eat. So that is something that I definitely was struggling with at the beginning of the week. I just kind of felt guilty for eating. And I think the reason why I struggled with it this time is because this time was the first time that I did a cut, and I cut out going out to eat. In 2014, when I prepped, I was going out to eat every single week up until show day. And when I was prepping for my wedding, I was going out to eat 1 or 2 times a week. And after the show, eating out wasn't rare. It wasn't, so I didn't feel guilty about it. But this time, since I cut out going out to eat for like 10 weeks, I did start feeling guilty. And I felt guilty for wanting to go out, if that makes sense. And I'm doing a lot better now. I know that if I want to go out to eat, I could. It's not going to kill me. And I know I have goals, but I also want to live my life. I'm not competing. I'm not stepping on stage in a couple of weeks, so I could enjoy myself. I don't have to be super small to be considered fit. I don't have to be super small for my husband to love me. I don't have to be super small for my clients to approve of me as a personal trainer. So I just have to take it day by day. And like I told you guys, I did struggle. I am struggling, but I'm choosing to be positive. I'm choosing to look at the positive side of things and not focus so much on the negative things. So instead of I'm not focusing on how I feel like in my body. I'm focusing on how I feel in here. And in here, I am super happy. I am super energized. I feel good. I could clean my house without feeling like I'm going to pass out. I can go out and walk with my husband and my dog and not feel like I'm going to faint. And that makes me happy. And the last couple of weeks before the show, I was not happy. I was miserable. The way that I was explaining it to Dave is that I felt empty inside. I felt dead inside because all I wanted to do was lay down and not hear anything about anything. I did not want to hear him talk. I did not want to watch TV. I did not want to look at social media. I did not want to vlog. I just kind of woke up, got my workout done, ate, and slept. That's all I did for the last 2 weeks of competition prep. And that is not the way I want to live my life. I want to live my life being happy, being energized, enjoying my workouts, being able to go to parties, be able to go on walks with my dog and my husband and have energy. Like, that is huge for me, and I am happy right now. I might not feel 100% with my body. I might feel bloated, but that's totally okay because I'm happy in here. And that is what I'm telling myself every single time when I feel all these negative thoughts coming to my head. I tell myself I'm happy, and that is what matters. And now I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to maintain a stage ready body. I'm not trying to get down to that. I'm just trying to maintain a healthy body weight, and I'm trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle. And I don't want to feel bad about my body throughout the summer, because that's not healthy either. Feeling so bad about your body that you don't want to wear certain clothes. Like, I don't want to feel like that. And that is how I felt last summer because I was a lot heavier. And I believe that I can maintain a healthy body weight of 125 pounds and be happy with the way that I'm eating and the way that I'm training. So that is my goal. Again, if anything changes, I will always let you guys know, but I think that's all I'm going to say for this video, because this video is probably super long. If I think of anything else, it will be in tomorrow's vlog, so I will pick it up tomorrow. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you guys took something out of this video and that it helped you in some way. If it did, please comment below and let me know. I love hearing from you guys. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I will be sharing a lot more food on there. I will be sharing different types of workouts that I won't be posting on here. And follow me on IG story, because it's like a vlog. Like I basically film all day. So make sure to follow me on that. My handle is LadyFit. And yeah, so I will see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys later. Bye.